Hi guys, I'm Food One alumni, as Duran said, and just a little backstory on me. I grew up in Santa Cruz, lived with my single mom. She raised me by herself, and basically throughout my life, I always knew I was a smart kid. Everyone knew I was a smart kid, but I never gave it my complete all with anything, and I didn't believe in myself. And fast forward a little bit to high school for me, I started smoking weed, I started ditching class, and I started not caring about all of my responsibilities, slacking off on things that I wanted to do, and because I just didn't see it within myself to do those things and accomplish them. So it got to a point where I ended up at Delta Charter High School, and everyone there was really inviting. They helped me feel comfortable with me working at my own pace. And that's where Duran came in, and he was promoting his Food What youth empowerment program. He brought kiwis, which tasted really good. And then he handed out applications, and something in my application, when I turned it in, told him and Abby that I'd be a good fit for the internship. I started off kind of how I handled everything else in life, and that's not giving it my all, not really caring, and I stopped showing up. After a couple weeks went by, Duran called me, and he said, we've been missing you around, we want to give you another chance, it's totally up to you, and I decided to take it. And Food What, since then, has been a place for me to share my love of poetry that I write. It's given me a place to connect with other people. It's given me a place to not judge people so much as well, because a lot of kids that come through Food What come from many different backgrounds, and it helps break down that barrier. After Food What, I slightly lost my momentum. I started drinking a lot more, started doing drugs a lot more, ended up in the drunk tank quite often. And I wasn't doing anything to make myself happy. I was robbing myself of my own happiness. And I had multiple court cases that came up that were kind of easily brush offable, if that makes sense. And the one person that I had always called was Duran, because he would always listen to me. Sorry. He was always a good friend to me. And there's this one court case in particular where in Santa Clara County there was an incident that happened that they wanted to give me an 8-week drug class or something. And I talked with Duran, I talked with my mom, I talked with my brother about it, and I decided at that moment, okay, let me back up. My brother, he had went through the Salvation Army program in San Jose. It's for adult rehabilitation. He did this about 10 years ago, and to the best of my knowledge, he's been sober ever since. So when I was talking to him about this, looking for input of what kind of rehabilitation I could gain, he told me about this program. And I was willing to try it just because I was so tired of living day to day, basically as a zombie, like not even, my main goal every day was just to look for like the next high, or to shrug off even more responsibility. So Duran actually drove me to the court date where I told the judge straight up that I didn't want to do the 8-week drug class. I needed something that was more intensive. I needed something to wake me up. And I went through that program. I graduated in August. And since then, since I graduated, I worked at a couple jobs. Both of those jobs weren't really the right fit for me, and I landed at Applebee's dishwashing. And they liked me so much that they promoted me within 3 weeks. And it was really interesting that, I just have to add this, because it was really interesting that Daron asked me to speak at this event tonight, because in 5 days I'm going to be here clean and sober. And it's a blessing because, I don't know, conversations with my mom, like in the past, it was always, and the rest of my family and a lot of my friends, they were always wondering if I was going to come home or if I was going to be alive the next day or just end up in jail, you know, and now they don't have to worry about that. And I just feel so blessed with everything that's been happening in my life today. And I don't know if anyone minds, but I wrote a poem to kind of encompass all of that. I was always living life way below average. I didn't really care that I was at risk. Was so blind that I needed more than glasses to see that I'm not happy with it as is. I want to be where the greener grasses, stand out on my own, not blending with the masses. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Can I start over? I was always living life way below average, didn't really care that I was at risk, was so blind that I needed more than glasses to see that I'm not happy with it as is. I want to be where the greener grasses, stand out on my own, not blending with the masses. Saw it half empty, now I see how full the glass is. It wasn't natural, so it took a lot of practice to see the gift of life that I've been given. I'm driven to make this a better place to live in. It's a lot to take on, but I'm too strong to give in. Finally broken out of my mental prison. It was time for a decision. Change the perspective of my vision or continue not to listen. The latter showed me what I'm missing. Life was waiting on me to drive, now I got a key to the ignition.